Right, ready to dig into this. My Marvellous Big Pocket Guide to Heart Failure.
Absolutely.
It's from the Pumping Marvellous Foundation,
Yeah.
and it's packed with wisdom from people who've, actually dealt with heart failure.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of pull out those key takeaways for you guys.
Yeah.
Especially focusing on those must-know treatment options.
I think one of the things that struck me right off the bat is how they reframe heart failure.
Okay.
It's not this like sudden stop,
Right.
right? It's more like your heart needing a little extra support to do its job.
Yeah, these are a good analogy.
Yeah.
It's a car engine, that needs a tune-up,
Right.
not a complete replacement.
Exactly.
So how does this guide break down what's actually happening in our bodies?
Well, they use the simple but really effective motorway system analogy.
Oh, I like that.
So your heart is the central pump, right?
Okay.
Sending out that oxygen-rich blood through the arteries, kind of think of those as the major highway to every single part of your body. And then the blood travels back through the veins, completing the loop.
Makes sense. So each heartbeat is like a delivery truck, just, keeping everything running smoothly.
Exactly.
But what throws a wrench in the works? What causes that engine to need a tune-up?
Well, the guide goes into this in detail and highlights that it's not your fault.
Oh, good.
So many things can contribute to it.
Okay.
High blood pressure, diabetes, even past viral infections.
Wow. So it's not necessarily something you did wrong, which I think is reassuring for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
But once you know, okay, I need a tune-up, what does treatment actually look like?
This is where it gets really interesting. The guide emphasizes this 4-pillar treatment strategy. It's kind of the foundation for managing heart failure.
4 pillars. Sounds kind of architectural.
It is. It's like building a strong base.
So what's that first pillar?
Beta blockers.
Okay.
And essentially, these medications help your heart work smarter, not harder.
Okay, I like that.
So they slow down the heart rate, which allows each beat to be stronger and more efficient.
Wouldn't that make you feel more tired, though, if your heart rate is slower?
You might feel some initial fatigue, but the guide assures us that the doses are gradually increased
Okay.
to minimize those effects.
Okay.
So it's kind of like pacing yourself for a marathon instead of sprinting right out the gate.
Yeah, good strategy for life, really.
Exactly.
So what's the second pillar in this heart healthy foundation?
ARNI.
ARNI.
Yeah, it stands for angiotensin receptor neprilysin inhibitors.
Okay. OG.
But specifically, we're talking about a medication called Entresto.
Okay.
And this one is a bit of a multitasker.
Oh, tell me more about this multitasker.
So it relaxes your blood vessels, which eases the workload on your heart.
Okay.
But it also helps to stop certain harmful substances from building up in the body.
So it's like widening the roads and cleaning up any debris
Exactly.
for smoother traffic flow.
Yeah.
Clever. What about pillar number 3?
That would be SGLT2 inhibitors, like dapagliflozin and empagliflozin.
Okay.
You might recognize those names from diabetes treatment, but they've shown incredible benefits for heart failure as well.
Oh, interesting. So it's a medication pulling double duty.
Yeah.
How do they help with heart failure specifically?
Well, the guide highlights that they can actually improve symptoms,
Okay.
reduce those scary hospital visits,
Yeah.
and might even extend lifespan.
Oh, wow.
So it's like giving your heart a protective shield and boosting its overall function.
That's pretty incredible. So what's the final pillar holding up this treatment plan?
MRAs,
MRAs.
which stands for mineralocorticoid receptor antagonists.
Okay.
Often medications like spironolactone or eplerenone.
Okay.
And their main job is to reduce fluid buildup and protect your heart from further damage.
So they're like the damage control team,
Exactly.
preventing things from getting worse. Are these 4 pillars the only options, though?
That's a good question. And the guide does mention other tools in the toolbox.
Okay, tell me more, because I'm all about having options.
So think of loop diuretics like furosemide and bumetanide,
Okay.
which help flush out excess fluid.
Okay, so they're there if things get a little flooded.
Yeah, like calling in the heavy-duty pumps.
I like it. Anything else?
Depending on the situation, they mention surgery or specialized pacemakers like CRT or ICDs.
Okay.
So these are more tailored interventions
Right.
based on the cause and severity of your heart failure.
So a whole arsenal of support?
Yeah.
This is starting to feel less like a failure, more like a chance to really team up with your healthcare providers and take charge.
Exactly. And that leads perfectly into the next part of the guide.
Okay.
The importance of self-management.
Okay.
It's not just about taking your medication. It's about being an active participant in your own health journey.
Okay. I'm ready to put on my driver's cap.
Okay.
Let's dive into that next.
So you're ready to take the wheel when it comes to your heart health?
Yeah. I like that analogy.
Yeah, it's about empowerment. And this guide really hammers home that self-management is key to living well with heart failure.
It can feel kind of daunting at first.
Right.
But I'm guessing this guide has some tips to make it feel less overwhelming.
Absolutely. It acknowledges that a diagnosis can be really emotionally challenging. Feeling overwhelmed, that's normal.
Right.
But it also offers this message of hope and resilience.
That's so important. What kind of tools or strategies does it suggest to help navigate those feelings and actually start taking action?
Well, first off, it encourages a positive mindset.
Okay.
They actually say, put on your positive pants.
I love that.
Which I find
so simple.
kind of charming,
It is. And it's effective.
Yeah, mindset is everything.
Yeah, especially when you're facing a health challenge.
Absolutely. What else? Well, it introduces this thing called the New York Heart Association Classification Scale.
Okay.
Which I think is brilliant.
Tell me more about this scale.
Basically, it helps you assess the severity of your heart failure based on how much it limits your physical activity.
Okay.
So it's kind of like this personalized energy gauge.
I like that.
And it has these 4 classes ranging from no limitations to, severe limitations.
So knowing where you fall on that scale helps you understand your own limits and communicate those symptoms with your doctor more clearly.
Exactly. It empowers you to have that conversation with your healthcare team.
Right.
And speaking of tools, the guide also provides this thing called the Marvellous Symptom Checker.
Ooh, a symptom checker. What is that?
It's this super simple traffic light system that helps you monitor your symptoms and know when to seek help.
So green means go, yellow means...
Green means good. Yellow means proceed with caution, maybe check in with your doctor.
Right.
And red means stop and seek immediate attention.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a personal early warning system in your pocket.
I like it. That's helpful. Now, what about building a support system? It takes a village, right?
Absolutely. The guide emphasizes how important it is to assemble this team of experts to guide and support you.
Yeah, like creating a pit crew for your heart.
Exactly.
Who are the key players on this team?
Well, first and foremost, your heart failure specialist nurse.
Okay.
They are a wealth of knowledge and support. They provide expert advice, they help you manage your medications, and they also offer that emotional support.
Yeah. Sounds like they're true champions.
They are. And then cardiac rehabilitation programs are highly recommended.
Okay.
They offer this structured exercise, education, and a really supportive environment to help you regain your strength and confidence.
I bet that's a game changer for people who are feeling unsure about,
Yeah, how much can I do?
How much activity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't underestimate the role of your pharmacist. I mean, they're so readily accessible and incredibly knowledgeable about your medications, potential interactions, side effects.
It's true. They're like the medication gurus.
They are.
I always feel intimidated to ask pharmacists questions, but I guess they're really there to help.
They are.
Yeah.
And then the guide shares this personal story about the importance of a strong relationship with your GP.
I love personal stories.
Oh, me too. They make it real.
Yeah.
And this story really highlights the value of finding a doctor who listens.
Right.
Who understands your needs and who collaborates with you and your specialists.
So it's a partnership.
It is.
Where you feel comfortable asking questions, expressing concern.
Exactly. It's about advocating for your own health.
That's so empowering. It takes the pressure off feeling like you have to figure everything out on your own.
Right. You're not alone in this.
Yeah. But what are some practical tips to establishing that kind of strong doctor-patient relationship?
Well, they suggest requesting to see the same doctor consistently.
Okay.
So you build that rapport.
Build that trust.
Scheduling telephone appointments for those quick check-ins.
Yeah, that's smart.
Or questions can be helpful.
Those are great tips. It's all about proactive communication.
Yeah.
And feeling empowered to, advocate for your own needs.
Absolutely. And, it's striking me that
Yeah.
while medication and those medical interventions are crucial,
Right.
Self-management isn't just about taking your pills
Right.
and going to appointments.
It's about, yeah, it's about adopting that holistic approach.
Exactly.
Making lifestyle changes, monitoring your symptoms, really actively engaging with your healthcare team.
You're becoming the CEO of your own heart health.
I love that.
Yeah.
Making those informed decisions.
Yeah.
Building that support system that allows you to thrive.
Well said.
Yeah.
So as we kind of wrap up this section on self-management,
Yeah.
the guide leaves us with this powerful message about taking things one step at a time,
Right.
which I think is such a relief because it's not about overhauling your entire life overnight. You don't have to climb the mountain all at once.
Right, exactly. So small changes can make a big difference over time.
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of one step at a time approach does the guide suggest?
Well, it boils down to the guide's final question, which really struck me.
Okay.
What small step can you take today to feel more in control
Mm-hmm.
of your heart health journey?
It's such a powerful question
It is.
because it encourages action.
Yeah.
Even when you're feeling overwhelmed,
Yeah,
it's not about, conquering this whole mountain at once.
right.
It's about taking that first step.
Exactly. It could be something as simple as finally making that phone call
Mm-hmm.
to schedule that appointment you've been putting off.
Right.
Maybe it's researching a cardiac rehab program near you,
Yeah.
or even just committing to, a 10-minute walk today.
I love that. It's about proving to yourself that you have some agency,
Right.
that you're not powerless
Exactly.
in this situation.
And it's that sense of accomplishment,
Yeah.
even from a small action,
Right.
that can spark this ripple effect.
Totally.
It can lead to more positive choices and a greater sense of ownership over your health.
It snowballs into something bigger.
It does.
It's like that saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Absolutely.
And this guide reminds us that we don't have to walk that journey alone.
We don't. There's a whole community out there
Yeah.
ready to support you.
The Bumping Marvellous Foundation
Yeah.
is just a fantastic resource.
They are. They offer these additional guides, a really supportive online community, even videos
Oh, wow.
featuring real patients
Okay.
sharing their experiences.
I think it's so powerful to hear from other people
Yeah.
who have walked a similar path
Yeah.
and found ways to, not just cope, but actually thrive.
Right.
What would you say to someone who's feeling isolated or discouraged right now?
I would say you are not alone. Heart failure is a serious condition, but it doesn't have to define you.
Right.
With the right knowledge, a supportive team, and a proactive mindset.
Mm.
You can live well and find joy in each day.
And as the guide so perfectly puts it, keep those positive pants on.
I love that.
It's a reminder that even amidst the challenges,
Yeah,
there's always hope
always.
and the possibility of a brighter future.
Absolutely. This has been such an insightful deep dive.
It has.
Thank you for joining us today.
And to our listeners,
Yeah,
remember, you've got this.
you do.
Take a deep breath, put on those positive pants,
Mhm.
and take that first step toward a healthier future.
That's it.
This has been another episode of The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.